And then I also wish that I watched a lot of videos for pediatrics. I think it would have helped me to understand some things there.
And I see them, they do formally humble reader. Humble reader.
True. No, I said I was reading.
Is the strength of your residual that most of the time saves is the issue.
What were the things you wish you did and the things you didn't do while studying or writing the exam? So who is ready to answer first? You wish you did that you had performed even way better than you performed, or the weird things you didn't do or something like that. Yeah. So
okay, I wish I was very, very hardworking. More than I was. I was more hardworking than I was during that period. I wish I went to all the units in pediatrics to learn about each case. I know it's not easy.
Yeah, seriously.
I tried my I tried my best to, but I did not go to all the units. Maybe I'll just go once and just.
But another thing that could work. Don't you think that maybe reading people's notes wouldn't that help as well?
It will help, but you still need to
go back and see for yourself.
Yes, and see for yourself. Because there are some examinations they'll perform. You need to see them doing it to get. Then another thing I wish I did was I wish I read that book earlier. I wish I knew about that book. Yes, because that book is very good.
I go buy it. Please, how much is it so that we will know?
I don't know. I borrowed someone's book.
How much is it?
I don't know how much it is, but it's actually I think we discovered a soft copy. Maybe you can ask some of the residents. It's not. We have a soft copy.
Okay, there's soft copy.
But it's better to have the hard copy. So, but
where do you think you can get the hard copy from?
I think you might have to ask the residents in ONG about it. Then they will guide you.
They will guide you how to get it.
Yes.
But do you know how much?
I have no idea.
Is it a small book?
It's not so small.
Sizable, but it's very good.
That's for ONG, ba?
Yes, for ONG.
Okay.
And then I also wish that I watched a lot of videos for pediatrics. I think it would have helped me to understand some things there.
Okay. Like all these YouTube videos?
Yes, YouTube academic videos.
Okay. Alright, so you?
Okay, major thing I wish I had done was to read other people's posting notes, like posting notes of people's in all the units, especially I'm talking more specifically for ONG now, because our mock exams was largely posting notes, was largely the things they taught in posting. Like, of course, in ONG there's something called tutorials, where each firm has a list of topics where different consultants are supposed to teach the members of their tutorial. Now, a lot of questions came from those tutorials. And not just that it came from those tutorials, it came from a specific firm. Because I remember there's a firm that Dr. Onyabo, I think it's the Professor Yoke's firm. Dr. Onyabo, he set a lot of questions and some others. So I think the advice I would give is that, especially before the mock, because the main was now different. The main was mainly from our lecture notes. The mock was more from our posting notes. Okay. So it might be different, it might still be the same since it's still the same HOD. So the advice I will give you to try and borrow a posting note from at least one person per unit, firm 1, firm 2, firm 3, firm 4, firm 5, and read it before that mock examination. Okay. And so I think that's the major thing I can remember that I wish I would have done. Okay, that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much. How was it on the exam day? After all the night study, emphasis on because I know that these advices you were giving to us, I'm sure that senior colleagues also gave it to you guys too. I'm sure that you guys also asked questions like, what happened, what did you do, what did you need to do, blah blah blah. So how was it on the night after on the exam day after all the night study emphasis on the OSCE main exam? So how was it on the exam day, like for the ONG and the OSCE, and the pediatrics? How was it?
This one, OSCE and OSCE.
Everything. How was it on the exam day, the particular exam day? Even after all the reading you have done, and then you think that I don't try my best.
Okay, for ONG it was good. For ONG MCQ and essay it was good. I think that was an exam that I was very sure that I would get a very good score in. But as usual, I always like keeping my fingers crossed ahead. Okay. But for the OSCE of ONG, it was shocking.
So like, what do you think that made you think very ready for the exam? Like, what did you read that made you very ready? Because you didn't read the kind Oyoke book. but still you were still, the exam was still good for you.
Okay.
What do you think that was different from what others did that made you like do well?
I don't think there's anything that was different per se.
Or did you think of number of hours you read, or maybe postings or something?
I don't think so, because I was not really consistent.
Okay.
It was actually God that directed me. I know that directed me. I know people now start saying, so God does not usually direct us, so that kind of thing. But I just decided to allow the Holy Spirit to help me, because even the night before that exam, I was telling you that it was very, very simple. I know I really cried. I cried for over 2 hours. I thought someone was crying. I was choked up because I think they did not give us space in the exam. During the exam, like the exam dates, they did not give any space in that one. I think it was only for OSPI and OSCE they gave space. So I cried. I was totally to myself, to me, I felt unprepared. You get. I've been reading, but you know that even if you are reading, you have to revise a lot of things.
Because
so
you forget it.
Yeah.
You don't revise
So I just cried, and after crying down, I told God to help me and all that. So I just went to exam. It's the only part they asked for, the part I revised. That's the thing that happened.
Wow.
So I did not do anything special, like in terms of hard work and all that. Even though I've been reading like everybody else. I just allowed the Holy Spirit to help me,
to guide you,
in that.
Okay, so you, how was it?
She was not writing like everybody else. So she was reading diligently and consistently, especially towards the exam. I always see her in what they call it.
They say differently now. People.
Not everybody. No.
Everybody reads like that.
When Nwofor is too busy, she will leave it and go to a separate library. So please, diligence is very important.
You see, you can see them. They're formally humble reader. Humble reader.
True. I said I was reading like people. You get, but for revision during that time, you need to revise. You understand?
You know, everybody that used to read like people. You know, these people you are describing. I don't understand the people you are describing. Because maybe it's your own people, your own friends because it's not everybody that actually read as much as you. Yes, now.
Okay, I was actually reading. Okay, I go to when we came here, I usually go to Uncoma to read. Okay, when I was in old size, I go to Okolo, but I was not really consistent every day, but I was trying my best.
But you were reading. That's good. So because people actually just wait till when the exam was closed and they started reading. Should you know that? You don't know. Stay there. Some people wait like 1 month before the exam, before this.
Wow.
So yes, you were actually reading. Even if those tiny drops of water really made the mighty ocean. So yes, now.
And then I was also very, very much engrossed in O&G postings. Like I made sure I cleared. Like I cleared many times. Like even for our OSCE for the gynecology one, I thought it was obstetric one that I could not read because that was the first. But for gynecology one, I could just say everything because I was practically clicking infertility in Firm 1 in my senior posting. You get. I was getting tired of. I always got tired of clicking it too, but I kept on doing it because we had consultants that would push you. Dr. Ezekwele, she really pushed a lot of us to click. Yes. So being active, I even did all those speckling stuff. I not did it as often as possible. I watched them do it, and then as there was time they allowed me to do it, you get. So it helped me in the exam. So when I just came there, I just did it without stress. You get, because we have been doing it in clinic. Even people in my units for Firm 1, the infertility clicking part was very smooth for them because they have been doing it.
It was a normal thing.
Yeah, so it's not just only reading. You need to be very, very active in postings.
Okay.
Especially for O&G.
Alright, so thank you.
So consistency is very extremely important. At times you might be expecting that when exam is near, there will be a lot of time to revise, but it's not always like that. Exams can be choked up together, so tied up together. Especially now that there's compulsory sit at home on Mondays. So your exam, if maybe your exam would have been Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this time it can be Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or something like that. So it's the strength of your schedule that most at times saves. It's the strength of your schedule. So if you have not been consistent,
you have not started reading.
Yes.
Start reading,
Yes.
Even as that you have 5 months or 4 months, please start reading now. Seriously.
Yes, start reading consistently. It's not it's not good to expect magic to be done on that exam day. Like be consistent. So you be satisfied that you have actually put in effort into this thing. I know it's not so easy. I mean, in this generation where we have a lot of things we are doing, have a lot of things that we are juggling and all that. But still, just what helped me was that, okay, especially in these final exams, was that I tried to reach a minimum reading time per day. So over time, that consistency will play out. Even if you don't read, well, most of the times we are afraid that night, the night before, the day before, we want to read everything. But if you have been consistent, I can say that even if you don't read a day before your exam, you will still pass.
Oh.
Yeah. So the question was, how was it on that day, right?
Yes.
Okay, on that day, on Pediatrics Day, wow, we were surprised. The main exam, the MCQs were so out of this world. But well, those that have been reading consistently, putting their best, somehow we still find a way to still scale through. Even if they increase the difficulty like they did, like we're so shocked. But still, if you haven't written, at least you'll be able to somehow survive and get more than 50.
Yeah.
And for those that have been reading excess, and they can even reach the 70% mark. Alright, so but somehow, no matter how they tighten the exam, if you have been doing your best, doing those things you are meant to be doing, at least the course outline, you finish the course outline, at least, at the very least. Then even if they bring things outside it, they will still bring the ones that are inside the course outline. Yes. So the pediatrics, that was the essay was fair. It was fair. Then the OSPI, and then the long case. Okay, the long case was also okay. So the long case.
It's not depending on the lecture.
Yes, the long case depends on. Like, I think there are 4 factors in long case, 4 or 3 factors. Number 1, let me start with one you can control: your personal preparation in terms of clacking and presenting, examining. And by clacking and presenting, you must not always clack and present to consultants or senior. At that, when the exam was getting close, at some point we formed a group, discussion group. I'll clack this person and present to my classmates.
Okay.
My classmates will find holes in my clacking and correct me. That helped me, even apart from those consultants. They were good, we did that. But even the ones that my classmates did, then there's the clacking I clacked. I thought I'd done well. My own classmates finished that clacking. My own classmates. So those things help, and eventually, it got to a point where I could now say that yes, I now understand this clacking. I now have a pattern in my head. So that day, my clacking somehow it flowed. They didn't stop me at any point. Maybe they didn't want to. Maybe they're not planning on stopping anybody, but they didn't stop me, sha. So because I had somehow gotten there's some things that you say that will raise questions. There's some things that you see, but it's when you keep on clacking and when you say those things and they raise the question, you know that these things, like at some point, like the woman that I clacked in my long case, she lives in Lagos, so but her child, they are come to attending hospital here in Enugu. If you just randomly say that they live in Lagos, they now come and say they are in Enugu, they'll ask you, okay, what made it? Are you not curious to find out why someone that's living in Lagos left Lagos, all the hospitals in Lagos and came? So when I reached that part, I explained before they even asked me that this is why. So those kind of things avoid questions in your long case. So at least I was able to finish the history, present my examination findings. I went to the bedside, demonstrated the examination. Then they asked me questions about the case. The case was somehow unexpected. It's not a common case. It was rheumatic heart disease, rheumatic fever. Okay, it's not so rare, but it's actually not so common in the clinic. It's not so common in the clinic, but somehow, if your theory base is stable to some extent, you'll still be able to scale through. Because they still ask me some questions about it that you somehow managed to answer most of them. I think I failed 1 or 2. Then that was that. So that was fair. Okay, I said your long case depends on the person and your preparation. Then the person, in case you meet, you might go and meet a case that you don't even have an idea what this person is talking. The patient is just telling you different things. And also the third factor is the consultant you are presenting to. Okay, but you can't control case factor number 2 and factor 3. The only thing you can control is yourself, your personal preparation. Then you pray to God, trusting God that God will give you a good person. Yeah. So that is that for the pediatrics. Then obst and gynae. Wow, on the first day of the OSCE, that is the clinical exam, that day was shocking to me. After the preparation, I mean that day was just something else. I'm not going through so much detail, but the second day was much better than the first day. Okay, so then the hospital, like we have mentioned, the hospital, they brought out different things that were like they didn't repeat past questions because there are some past OSP pictures that have been circulating around, which we studied. I don't think they repeated one.
Jesus.
I don't think they repeated one. The Professor Yuki took pictures from the theater, from a patient. You would snap it, you browse picture online and set for us. So he brought out totally different pictures. So it's now what you know before. So your residual is very, very important in medical school. So like they said, attend your postings regularly. Don't miss posting for any just reason. If you are missing posting, it should be a very significant reason, because it might be what you see, what you are taught in that your posting day, that might be what will save you in the exam. It's not everything that is in this is MB. It's not everything that is in a lecture note. This is not normal exam of semester exam in other departments. MB tests your knowledge of that topic. So you should be grounded. So attend your postings and do your due diligence.
And yes, he said that there are four factors that help him. Okay, 3 factors that help him in pediatrics. Yes, in as much as he said you should actually pray for the consultant, like for a good consultant. But I also feel that as you're praying for it, just be bold. You get, don't get scared. I know it won't be easy, but you actually, because it will help you. I know of one of my classmates that she presented to 2 malignant people, and she was very calm. I was actually proud of her when I was seeing her from afar. I saw her; she was very calm. Even though in CMD meeting she gave testimony that she was scared, but I did not see any form of fear, like outwardly, you get. And she did well, and then she passed the exams, you get. So even if you meet one malignant person and all that, just make sure you are trying your best and tell the Holy Spirit to help you, you get. And then even if you see a case that you don't know, just tell God to direct you on how to collect it, you get. Because me, the one I collect was nwofor blessing in my own time, and hemato-oncology was the unit that I rarely visited, you get. So it was just basically what they taught us in class that I just had to use to collect, you get. So the person present with a swelling, so I started talking about what was the size at first and just tried to use my knowledge of what they said to try and answer, you get. So even if you meet a case that you don't know, just calm down and just tell God to help you, you get, and just try and figure things out from what you were taught. Like if it's a swelling, you can try and figure out a way to ask it. You get. Even for my surgery long case, I saw another case of a tumor. The leg had already been amputated, so I just had to tell God to help me. I was like, why is every time swelling for me? I'm looking for a case that is very easy. Give me swelling. What's all this?
God is calling you to maybe.
I was like, Jesus. I just had to just calm down and just try my best to ask him some questions, you get. And I just luckily for me, I met a very good consultant. But if you meet all these malignant people, that's something my friend says, just remove every information you've heard about that person to help you get. Remove every single information and just be calm, you get. Prepare yourself. Ask people questions, people that are in that unit, like the malignant lecturers unit. Ask them what the person expects. There are some things that this person will want you to say. Find out about it. You get. There's some things that this other person wants you to say. Find out about. So if you meet this person, you now know what to say. So it's even best that when you are clicking, you all those informations you have gotten concerning each person, ask those information. So if you see this person, you remove this one and put this one. You get. So just be calm. Even if you see a very malignant person, just remove every single information you have had about the person and just be calm. Try your best, you get. God knows, God has seen your hard work, and he's always going to help you if you allow him to help you. You understand? He can use the testimony of you going to meet a malignant consultant. He can also use the testimony of you meeting a benign consultant, you get. So just keep an open mind. You understand?
Okay. Also add that, yes, prepare. Sometimes I tell people, prepare for worst case scenario. We hope for the best, but let it be that if you meet the worst case scenario, you are prepared. There's in pediatrics, I think the most feared lecturer is Professor Obstetrics.
Yes, I
heard about him. He didn't later come for our examination.
It was meant to be our own there was units but he was not around. He went on leave that time.
Okay. So he's the most feared lecturer. So I prepared, like, even if it's to meet OBDK, because he was holding, at some point he held like Zoom tutorials for us, about 2 or 3. So I made sure I attended that tutorial to learn what he wants. I made sure I read at least a major part of his book to know his pattern, so that in case I meet him, I can deliver. So now that obesity might not be around, they might be around, but now we are discovering that there are newer malignant people cropping up.
Jesus,
For example, let me mention names. Okay, no, but let me not call by them, but lecturers that are strict with the exam, like Dr. Nwofor in hematology. Then in there's this other man in Nwofor is in hematology. Then this other man in what is that his name? Ujunwa, yes.
Ujunwa.
Yes. So those people that are tough, so to call, find out what they like, so that if you meet them, you can do it. So prepare, in as much as we hope to meet someone like Mbanefo. If you meet Mbanefo in nephrology, you have passed until proven otherwise. But in as much as we hope to meet such people, if you don't meet them, let it be that even if you meet those tough people, you still pass.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much.
The person that my classmates met was Dr. Ezemusu and Dr. Njuma. Imagine two of them.
Jesus. She was bold though. God was with her.